Hello, my friends. I'm Dr. Linda Parker, a wellness educator who helps older adults reclaim calm nights and brighter mornings with simple, natural routines. Tonight, I want to give you something practical that you can start as soon as the sun goes down. 5 gentle, evidence-informed nature's prescription herbal teas that support deep, restorative sleep after 65. We're not chasing miracles, we're building a routine your nervous system can trust. I'll explain what each tea is, how it works in plain language, the best way to brew it, when to drink it, and a few smart precautions so you can integrate it confidently with the rest of your life. For decades, many of us were told that poor sleep is just part of aging, and there isn't much you can do. That belief quietly steals joy from the evenings. The truth is more hopeful. While sleep does change with age, your brain and body remain highly responsive to signals of safety and rhythm. When we send the right signals, less stimulation, more warmth, steady breath, and the calm chemistry that certain herbs invite, your system remembers how to settle. This is not about knocking yourself out. It's about teaching your nervous system to exhale. Let's start by looking at the real-world obstacles that tend to show up after 65. Bedtime drifts later because evenings are the only quiet hours. Daytime light exposure may be weaker, so your inner clock gets fuzzy. The bladder wakes you. Medications push and pull on alertness. Worries visit right when the lights go off. On top of that, caffeine sneaks in through chocolate or late tea, and screens blast bright light into the eyes. None of this means you're broken. It means your sleep needs a different strategy, one that is kind, consistent, and sized for the life you have now. Herbal teas are perfect for this stage because they combine 3 things at once: a physiological nudge toward relaxation, a sensory ritual that signals safety, and a timing anchor that helps your brain relearn when to shut down. The herbs I'll share are gentle enough for most people, but still meaningful when used on purpose. Choose any one to start. Add a second or blend after a week if you like. The goal is not variety for its own sake, it's depth and rhythm. Tea number 1 is chamomile. Old-fashioned, floral, and still one of the best allies for the older brain at night. Chamomile's calm has a simple logic. It contains a flavonoid called apigenin that binds to receptors in the brain involved in relaxation. If that sounds technical, here's the picture. Imagine your brain has little brake pedals that help you stop the busy thoughts and coast down. Chamomile fits those pedals. It doesn't force them. It reminds them. To brew, use 1 heaping teaspoon of dried chamomile flowers, or 1 high-quality tea bag, in just off the boil water. Cover the cup so the aromatic oils don't escape, and steep for 7 to 10 minutes. Drink it 60 to 90 minutes before bed so the warmth and aroma have time to do their work. Chamomile is also kind to digestion, which helps when nighttime discomfort comes from a tense stomach. A small note of caution. If you're allergic to plants in the daisy family, skip chamomile. If you use blood thinners, it's prudent to check with your clinician before making it a nightly habit. Tea number 2 is lemon balm, also known as melissa. It smells softly of lemon without the sharpness, and its personality is comfort for the mind. Lemon balm supports the brain's calming chemistry in a different way than chamomile. Think of it as smoothing the edges of stress signals so they don't spiral. People describe the effect as mental quiet rather than drowsiness. That's perfect for the 2 a.m. mind that wants to make lists. Brew 1 tablespoon of dried lemon balm leaves in hot water, covered, for 8 to 10 minutes. 60 minutes before bed. If you like, blend it half and half with chamomile for a rounder flavor and a layered calm. A small precaution. If you take thyroid medication, talk with your clinician before using lemon balm regularly, as there's a theoretical interaction for some individuals. Not a prohibition, just an invitation to coordinate. Tea number 3 is passion flower. The name sounds dramatic, but its action is gentle and specific. It supports GABA, the brain's primary calming messenger. When GABA has the microphone, your muscles soften, your thoughts slow, and you stop startling at every sound. Passion flower is especially helpful for the "I'm tired but wired" pattern. Brew 1 teaspoon of the dried aerial parts, leaves and flowers, in hot water, covered, for 10 minutes. Start with this tea 45 to 60 minutes before bed. Many people feel a quiet wave of release across the chest and shoulders around the halfway mark of the cup. If you're already taking a prescribed sedative at night, keep the dose modest and coordinate with your clinician because the calming effects can add up. Tea number 4 is valerian root. This is the strongest of the 5 and best used with intention. Valerian talks to the same relaxation systems as the previous herbs, but with more weight. Think of it as the anchor at the end of your wind-down routine when the day was too loud. Because it's a root, treat it like a light decoction. Simmer 1 teaspoon of cut root in a small pot of water for 10 minutes with the lid on, then let it sit another 5 before straining. Some people find the scent earthy or musky. If that turns you off, blend it with lemon balm or chamomile to soften the flavor. Use valerian 30 to 60 minutes before bed and reserve it for the nights you need the extra help. If you take nighttime medications that already cause sedation, start with half a cup and evaluate. If you tend toward vivid dreams, notice how you feel after a few uses and adjust to gentler herbs on most nights. Tea number 5 is lavender. You may know it as a scent in soaps, but the flowers themselves as a tea offer a unique form of relaxation. They calm the emotional tone while loosening physical tension in the neck and jaw, 2 places many older adults carry stress. A little goes a long way. Use 1 teaspoon of culinary-grade dried lavender buds per cup, steep 5 to 7 minutes covered, and consider blending it with chamomile for a floral duet that feels like a quiet country evening. Drink it 60 to 90 minutes before bed. You can enhance the signal to your brain by rubbing a tiny pinch of the dry buds between your fingers right before you sip. That burst of aroma is a direct "it's safe" message to your limbic system. Pick 1 tea and make it your anchor for 7 nights. Then you can rotate or blend. Here are 2 reliable blends if you prefer a fuller flavor and layered effects. Calm Mind Blend. Equal parts lemon balm and passion flower, steep 10 minutes. This is the thinking too much cup. Comfort Body Blend. Chamomile with a whisper of lavender. This is the neck and jaw feel tight cup. For the heavier nights, Calm Anchor Blend. Half lemon balm, half valerian root, prepared by simmering the valerian and then pouring the hot liquid over the lemon balm to steep for 7 minutes. That 2-step method extracts the benefits of the root while preserving the fresher notes of the leaf. Timing matters. Your brain loves reliable cues. Aim to drink your tea at roughly the same time each night, ideally starting 60 to 90 minutes before lights out. That window lets your core temperature drop slowly, your heart rate drift lower, and your mind accept the invitation to slow down. Pair the tea with a small wind-down sequence that never changes. Dim 2 lamps. Silence notifications. Do 5 minutes of slow breathing with a long exhale. Inhale through the nose for a count of 4. Exhale through the mouth for a count of 6. Keep your shoulders low. If you like reading, choose paper over a glowing screen. Stop trying to sleep. You're not forcing anything, you're allowing. A few practical refinements make herbal sleep support work better after 65. Move your caffeine window earlier in the day. If you still enjoy coffee or black tea, place them before noon. Protect your light signals. Seek morning daylight for 10 minutes near a window or on the porch and soften evening light. Eat a lighter dinner than lunch and finish at least 3 hours before bed so digestion doesn't ask your body to stay on. Shift your hydration earlier, then taper so the bladder is less likely to audition at midnight. Keep the bedroom cooler by 2 degrees if possible. These are small levers that stack with the tea's chemistry. Now let me give you a simple 4-week plan to transform this from nice idea into a steady habit your brain trusts. Week 1 is discovery. Choose one tea. Chamomile is a friendly start, and drink it every night at the same time. Don't evaluate yet, just set the stage. Do your 5 minutes of slow breathing while the cup steeps. Keep a tiny notebook on the nightstand and write a single line before you turn off the light. 3 words that describe your body's state: calm, tense, hopeful. That's enough. Week 2 is consistency. If you enjoyed chamomile, stay with it and add lemon balm twice this week for variety. If you started with lemon balm, add chamomile twice. Keep everything else the same. Your notebook note at night becomes slightly more specific. Pick one body cue to track: time to fall asleep, number of awakenings, or how easy it is to drift back after a bathroom visit. Circle it. Your brain learns by seeing small wins accumulate. Week 3 is personalization. Add passion flower on the nights when the mind wants to rehearse conversations. If neck tension is your pattern, bring lavender into the cup 2 or 3 evenings. Keep caffeine earlier, dinner lighter, and evening light softer. If you wake between 2 and 3 a.m., have a plan ready that doesn't involve getting up to solve problems. The plan is simple. Sit on the edge of the bed, take 6 slow breaths with long exhales, remind yourself nighttime is for rest, sip 2 small mouthfuls of room temperature water, and lie back down with a relaxed jaw. Week 4 is fine-tuning. If you still feel restless falling asleep, reserve valerian for 2 nights a week and brew it as your calm anchor blend with lemon balm. If you're mostly sleeping, but wake once to use the bathroom, keep your hydration earlier and bring chamomile back as your default because it treats digestion and mind together. Look at your notebook. Notice any line that reads easier. That one word means your cues are landing. I want you to meet 3 people who translated these steps into evenings they could trust. Elena is 73 and used to assume bed at midnight and a mind still busy at 1. She moved her tea to 9:30 p.m., lemon balm with chamomile, and turned 1 lamp on and 1 lamp off to lower the light. She chose a short memoir to read on paper. In 2 weeks, she wasn't falling asleep dramatically faster. She was falling asleep without the fight. The fight had been the problem. When it ended, sleep arrived. Samuel is 78, a widower who does crossword puzzles in the evening. His jaw would clench and his neck would ache by 10 p.m., and he believed that was just his body now. He tried a tiny cup of lavender with chamomile at 8:45, then a heating pad on low behind the neck for 10 minutes while he finished the puzzle. He added 6 deep breaths before turning off the light. He still woke at 3 a.m., but he returned to sleep in minutes rather than an hour. He said the difference was that his body felt invited to rest, not commanded. Gloria is 69 and energetic during the day, but carried worries to bed about her adult children. She chose passion flower on nights when the mind wanted to plan, and chamomile on the others. She kept a rule that news and bank accounts were daytime tasks only. In her notebook, she tracked one thing: ease of returning to sleep after waking to use the bathroom. By the end of week 3, she wrote a small sentence that mattered more than any app score. I'm gentle with the night. Let's talk about safety and fit. Herbs are powerful enough to matter and gentle enough to respect. If you take anticoagulant medication, coordinate before making chamomile an every night habit. If you use sedating prescriptions, introduce passion flower or valerian slowly and see how you feel. If you take thyroid medication, coordinate before daily lemon balm. If you have reflux, avoid very large volumes of liquid right before lying down. Sip your tea earlier in the evening. If you have allergies to flowering plants, start with caution or select alternatives like a light cinnamon ginger sleep tisane that focuses more on warmth than on specific calming chemistry. If you are managing serious medical conditions, keep your clinician in the loop. Herbs work best in an honest partnership with the rest of your care. Brewing technique shapes results more than people think. Always cover the cup during steeping so the aromatic compounds, the ones that speak directly to your brain through your nose, don't escape. Use water just off the boil rather than a wild rolling boil. Harsh heat can drive off delicate notes. For roots like valerian, use a gentle simmer with a lid to coax out the constituents. Strain into a warm mug so the temperature stays cozy rather than hot. The goal is a stable warmth that tells your body to soften, not a scorching liquid that makes you brace. Set the scene in the room because your nervous system listens to context. Dim lighting, quiet air, and a tidy nightstand lower background stress. Place your phone across the room face down. If a clock glows, cover it. Clock watching triggers adrenaline spikes at 2 a.m. Keep a soft scarf or small blanket for your legs so the lower body feels grounded. These details seem small. They are the difference between a night that feels safe and a night that keeps you on guard. If you share your life with a partner, make this a shared ritual. 2 cups, 2 chairs by the window for 10 minutes, 1 quiet conversation. Ask, what was one kind moment from your day? This small exchange empties the mind of unfinished loops and replaces them with gratitude. Couples who anchor the evening in the same way tend to drift together into sleep. And if you live alone, you can still create that sense of companionship by reading a few pages from a familiar author whose voice you trust. Friendly voices calm the limbic system. What about nights when pain interrupts sleep? Herbal teas won't erase pain, but they change the body's reactivity to it. Chamomile and lavender in particular reduce the muscle guarding that follows discomfort. On those nights, add a warm compress to the area for 10 minutes before your cup, then practice a simple body scan in bed. Start at the forehead and soften one area at a time: eyes, jaw, throat, chest, belly, hips, thighs, calves, feet. Whisper to yourself, loosen, as you move attention down the body. This may sound simple. Simple practices are the ones you repeat. If naps sneak in during the afternoon, keep them short and early. 20 minutes before 3 p.m. can refresh without stealing from night sleep. Longer naps push bedtime later, and later bedtimes pull you into a cycle of tired but wired. Your tea routine is most effective when it is the single reliable cue that the day is done. Let's put the pieces together into an easy nightly script you can follow without thinking. 2 hours before bed, shut down bright screens or switch to a warm setting. 90 minutes before, start your kettle. While the water heats, turn on a bedside lamp and turn off overhead lights. Steep your chosen tea covered. While it rests, stand next to the counter. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6, 10 times. Carry the cup to your favorite chair. Sip slowly, holding the mug so the heat touches your palms. When the cup is empty, wash it and leave it to dry so tomorrow's routine will be easier. Go to the bedroom. Do 5 gentle shoulder rolls backward and then forward. Sit on the edge of the bed. Write 1 line in your notebook about your body's state. Turn off the lamp. Lie down and count 5 long exhales. You're finished. Sleep is allowed to arrive. If you like structure, track 1 metric for a month. How easy is it to return to sleep after a bathroom trip? Rate it from 1 to 5, where 5 means you drift back without effort. Don't chase a perfect score. Watch the trend. Most people who adopt this routine notice the number rise by 1 point over 2 to 3 weeks. That's real progress because it means your body trusts the night again. If you wake in the small hours, resist the urge to fix your life at 3 a.m. Nighttime thoughts are rarely wise. Instead, repeat a simple phrase. Night is for rest. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Lengthen your exhale. If you need a small anchor, name 5 things you can hear, 4 you can feel, 3 you can see as shadows, 2 you can smell, and 1 you appreciate. That sensory ladder pulls you out of thinking and back into the body. When should you expect changes? Some people feel a shift the first week, more softness in the shoulders, a gentler descent into sleep, or a faster return after waking. For others, the change is quieter and arrives in week 3, a steadier mood in the morning, less urgency in the evening, a sense that the day has a clean ending. Sleep is a system. Systems change with repetition. If you've tried many things before, you might wonder, will this be different? The difference here is the combination. A physical cue from the herbs, a stable time anchor, a softening of light, a simple breath pattern, and a consistent script. None of these pieces alone is dramatic. Together, they teach your nervous system that night is safe, predictable, and friendly. Safety is what allows depth. I want to leave you with one sentence to carry into tonight. Your age does not disqualify you from deep sleep. It invites you to sleep on purpose. Choose one herb, brew it well, dim the lights, breathe longer on the exhale. Treat the night as a friend who needs a consistent greeting at the door. In 2 or 3 weeks, you won't just be sleeping differently. You'll be relating to sleep differently, with less fear and more trust. If this guidance helped you, try the routine tonight and notice one small change. Share these steps with a friend who deserves calmer evenings. And if you'd like more practical, science-light routines for better nights and brighter mornings, subscribe so we can keep building a community where aging and deep rest belong together.